Recently, ChatGPT server went down due to some issue. Of course, it was not related to exception as per their status page. But who knows? But if you know the exact reason, please give your comment below. One of my clients' website recently got crashed due to an exception in shopping cart feature. It took around 1 hour to mitigate the issue and restore the service as normal, causing $1 million business loss. This can happen to any application at any given point of time. Imagine you are trying to develop a business critical website which is continuously crashing due to various exceptions, leaving you puzzled and frustrated, thinking why it is continuously crashing and what you can do to prevent it. You will get all these answers in this video. Make sure you watch this video until the end. You must understand the harsh reality of software development. It doesn't matter how perfectly you write your programs, but it's a bitter truth that there is always a chance of this kind of crash in any application at any point of time. Just tell me, how can I prevent it? As a programmer, you need to foresee and mitigate these problems while writing your programs, ensuring they run smoothly every single time. Hi, my name is Kamal. I have nearly 2 decades of programming experience and have solved many issues like this professionally. I will show you the exact prevention technique which I have applied to my projects and delivered to my clients, along with some professional tips which will change your coding style forever. So why waste time? Let's get started with the basics. This kind of random crashes are called exceptions in programming terminology. But dude, what is an exception? An exception is an event that disrupts the normal flow of your program. For example, divide by 0, accessing a non-existent file and trying to convert an invalid string to an integer. These are the few examples of exceptions. Remember, exceptions occur while your program is running smoothly. Therefore, they are also known as runtime errors. So now you know what the exception is. How do I prevent it? To prevent exception, you need to handle them properly when they occur. This process is called exception handling. Let's see how we can write and handle these exceptions in your Python program using try, except, else and finally blocks. So let's jump to the code editor and see the examples. Let's write a piece of code that attempts to divide by 0 and catches the error. So this is how we can write try except block in Python program. When this expression will be evaluated, the 0 division error will be thrown and it will be caught here, and this message will be printed on console out. So let's try to run this. So you can see it has thrown an error. If we don't write anything here and then we try to run, no matter what exception is thrown, this will be printed. For example, if we are catching this error and then if we try to run it, it says that 0 division error was thrown, but it was not caught, so program got terminated abruptly. This is because we haven't caught that specific error. You remember previously we wrote nothing here and it caught everything. Whatever is exception is thrown, it will be caught and this message will be printed. But if we are specifying a specific error in except block, so it will be caught only for that error. So here it's a division error, but we are catching only file not found error. So it will not be caught and program will get terminated abruptly. So here if we add one more except block with 0 division and then if we try to print same message, then it will be caught. Let's change this message. Invalid file provide. So now let's try to run this. So you can see now 0 division error has been caught perfectly fine. As you have seen, we can specify a single except block as well as multiple except blocks. In addition to try and except, we have else and finally blocks as well. The else block executes if no exceptions are raised, and the finally block runs regardless of whether an exception occurred. This is useful for cleanup operations like closing files or releasing resources. So let's see an example of it. Let's comment this first and let's try to open a file. So file equal to open. You can specify any name, sample.txt, read only mode, content equal to file.read. Now let's add the else block as well. File, content, and let's add finally block. So as you can see in this example, we are trying to open a sample.txt file. If file is found, then else block will be executed, and then finally file is closed. If sample.txt is not present in the system, then file not found error will be raised, and this block will be executed, and then finally will get executed. So let's try to execute it. So you can see file is not present. We have captured the error successfully, but there is another exception. In the line number 14, file is none. Therefore, it threw an exception. So you can correct this if file.close. It is as simple as that. And then we can simply print program ended. Let's try to run it. So we can see correct error handling in this particular example. So here is the professional tip number 1. Always use your finally block for cleanup action to ensure resources are released correctly, preventing memory leaks and lock files. Sometimes you need to intentionally raise an exception to indicate certain error conditions in your program. For example, imagine you are signing up on a website and it is asking you to enter your age. Obviously, you cannot enter your age in negative number. If you are entering a negative number and the form is not validating it, there is a high chance of an exception on server side and the web application may crash.
Hey, give the example, bro.
Okay, let's see it in action. This is done using the raise keyword. For example, let's define a function. So this is the function we have defined to check age. Now let's try to call it in try except block. So let's save it and let's try to execute this. So you can see an exception is correctly handled. Age cannot be negative. So this is how you can use raise keyword to raise an exception. You have just seen how you can raise exception intentionally for various use cases. In addition, there are many other use cases where you need to raise custom exceptions in more complex systems to provide more meaningful error messages that can be tailored to specific needs. So here is how you can create and use a custom exception. So what you can do is, you can create a class. You can simply change the value error to custom error. And here also we will catch custom error. And let's see what is happening now. So we'll try to execute. So we will try to execute it. So you can see it has behaved the same way as we were capturing value error. But this can be customized by overriding several methods in class data structure. So here is the professional tip number 2. Use custom exceptions to make your code more readable and maintainable. They help you and others understand what went wrong quickly. So now you understand how to handle exceptions in Python programs. Let's examine some real-life scenarios in which exception handling is crucial. Imagine you are writing a web scraper that is fetching data from various websites. Network issues, invalid URLs, and server errors are common in this use case. Therefore, you must handle these exceptions very carefully.
Don't give theory. Write some code.
Okay, let's write some small piece of code to demonstrate this. In this small piece of code, we will use request library to fetch data from a non-existent URL. We will see if the exception is captured in our code and appropriate message is printed. Execute this code on your machine and comment below. And there you have it, a complete guide to mastering exception handling in Python. Remember, handling exceptions makes your code more robust and enhances user experience by providing clear, actionable error message. If you found this useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and press the notification bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.